Welcome to the Inspiration Space here at the Wilmington North Branch Downtown Library. We are here in the Inspiration Space, which is part of one of the new spots that they created when they renovated the library here. Here with Christina's adult ed programs are here during the week. We are here Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 9 in the morning till 1 o'clock and 9:30 to 1:30 on Thursdays. I'm here on Saturdays. My name is Amanda Smagala, and I also have my co-teacher here, who is Barbara Coleman, who's here on Thursdays and Fridays as well. We have a lot of the technology that's available. We have an interactive whiteboard here. We have video conferencing available if we need it. We have our computers, as you see in the background, and all the students are usually able to get on to that, and we're working with technology to keep them up to date. When our students come in here, or when we have clientele that comes, we usually try to address what needs they have. A lot of those are job related, so we're here in the Inspiration Space. We focus a lot on finding different connections for them to get onto JobLink, to get onto other links so that they can search for jobs, and then also for help them with filling out applications and making connections with them to get careers and where they would go. There's a computer literacies here at the library that we do a lot of referrals to. There's lots of computer basic skills. There are Excel programs that they work through that we can also direct these students to. We direct our students to different other programs, such as the Apex expungement program for students who may have felonies and they need to know how they can work with that and to get jobs. When we take our students in, I usually have to assess what needs they may have. Recently I had a student that came in and asked for information about how to apply for colleges or what they wanted to do. I assessed her and tried to find out what needs she had. She's made some connections now up in Philadelphia Community College, and I also gave out some information on Delaware Technology Community College. Another student who came in was struggling with getting internet access, and I referred her to different programs that Comcast and Verizon also support with helping low-income families secure internet in their homes along with laptops at greatly reduced prices. I had another student come in to talk with me about a felony that they had, and they wanted to find out information and who to contact for finding an expungement on that so that they're better able to get into the job force. When it comes to the ABE program, we come in here, we work with our students and do our assessment very much like what we do in the GROWS program. However, from here we can also start to work with them in the career piece so that they can make those connections into the real world. I've also had students in here where I'm able to, if their ABE program, this does not work for them, I can make referrals to other programs that we have available here in the city or in our other satellite programs so that I can make those referrals for all those students. So here at the Wilmington Library we have lots of things that are available. It's a great space. It's a very nice secluded space so that we can work with students and we can make our different referrals for everything. We're very happy to work with the library system to utilize this space and then be able to move and work with the different people that are coming in here.
My name is Barbara Coleman. Once again, welcome to Inspiration Space. As you can see, we have a lot going on, like Amanda has just said. But one of the things that is so great about Inspiration Space, not only is it a place for learning and for the community to come into, you can see our students behind me working on several programs. Quite often, we get students that are, or people that are working in another computer lab that want to come over here and work on job sites. They come in, they find that, they look at our job board, and they find that they need some assistance. They come in, we find out that they don't have a GED, and that's new people we can sign into our program. Also, next door we have the Volunteers for Literacy. They come in, we get student referrals from there. So it's just a wonderful place to be. It is like an all-around town access center here for our GED program. Because the Inspiration Space is used by the community, we have a locked closet where we keep our test files, our certain files for our students that is under lock and key, so no one can see that information. And as our students work on our GED programs, they learn how to write, they learn how to do application for JobLine. So it's just a great place to be.
it's hard to get employment without a GED. You can't even get janitorial work without a GED. I've learned so well that I came in on the 8th grade level. Now I'm on 11th grade level. I referred my daughter, and I tell other people about the program, hoping that they would come into the program, because today you need all your finances just to survive, basically. And without an education, you won't be able to get employment.
Recently I have taken my practice GED test, which was a little nerve-wracking at first, and I went in there feeling good that I might pass the test. Turns out that I did. I got a good score on it. When I finally get all this done, I know employment will be coming my way, and that's what I've been looking for since I started.
Hi, I'm here in the Groves program. I found out about the program because I have one of my students that actually go to the high school, and I was interested in getting my high school diploma, my GED, and they referred me to the evening classes, which is the adult continuing education program here. Since I've been here in September, I've really accomplished a lot. I've gotten me a full-time job, and my placement levels here are higher than what I thought they would be, being I've been out of school since 1988. We have a work folder where we do our reading, and we have our placements that we keep our scores and everything in, so we'll know exactly where we are at the time when we come in. And we also have our math folder where we also keep our math placements, and we keep our records and everything that we do in class 4 times of our testing when it's time for us to test out at the end of the year, so we can go to the next level for our GED or our high school program. So I'm glad that I've learned about this program, and to go further my goals and to show my children that I can accomplish as a single mom, that we can still continue and do whatever we set our mind to do.
Welcome. You are here at our Glasgow High School site for our James H. Groves, and here is where we house the majority of our students for our ABA and GED programs. When we come in, our students call up and they make a date to come on in, and they will find that their orientation date, where they come in with 2 nights where they do an orientation, and during those 2 nights they go over what they need for the program. They go through all of the handbook rules. They are also assessed with our TAPE program assessments. And from there they come back the next evening where they meet with a counselor and go over their goals for their program, and they find out what level they are, okay? Once they get that, they're enrolled into either our credit classes or our ABE program or GED part of this. This classroom here is our COA A class, where we work with students who are in the beginning literacy, beginning basic, and the low intermediate levels. And when they are here, we are working towards getting them ready to move to the high intermediate and to the next level of low ASC, where they can either go on to credit classes or they can move on to taking their GED or prepping for their GED. So when students arrive here, they have already had 2 encounters with our school, and they've talked with the counselors, and they have some general idea, but are usually pretty unsure of what's going on. So I usually sit down and do a full intake with them and talk with them about what their goals are, where they are in the program, and how that works. Once the student has gone through that with me, we usually sit down and do a pre-assessment with either their reading or their math score, whatever was lowest, and we discuss with them what specific skills that they need. Each student is then given a student folder with a learning plan, and in addition to that, a skill plan of exactly what skills they will be working towards. They are also in this level working towards their writing portfolio and the career pathway that the state has given. With that, we will sit down and give them the writing. I'll give them a new folder for that, and go through all the different things that are associated with the writing portfolios. Now I'm going to show you some of my filing system and how that all works. If you come over here, I have a locked cabinet here where I get all my information. When a student comes in, I make them one of these folders. This is one of my folders that I keep in the classroom on every student. In here you'll find that I get all of their intake information and all of their scores that I need in order to document where they are. This is what I use when I sit down and I individually interview each student when they come in and talk with them about their placements. This is the information I use. In addition to having my information in here, we have their learning styles, and I have just some general other contract things that I give for a class and other getting to know you kind of thing, so I learn a little bit more about my student in the process. And I have information exactly right here of what level they are on, what the last testing score was, and where they need to go. When my student is finished or has completed this level here in the COA class and they move into the next COA B class, this folder goes with them on to the next teacher. So it's all organized and their new scores are then input here. So that's how I keep track of all my information with the students. We also have here another set of filing system. This is where we are keeping all their writing portfolios and all the information that they're working on towards their writing assessments. I gather all the information on their attendance records from the office. I get detailed information from Carol, our data person, and she sends me attendance lists each night where I take attendance with my students and I keep that record here. This also allows me to know how many hours my student has and therefore know when I need to retest them on the TABE levels. So they get tested every 60 hours. So I have this information here that comes to me daily along with the reports that I receive from Linda and Daphne through email to say what kind of, how many hours each student has. We get monthly reports from them to let us know when our students are at 50 plus hours so that we have them on our radar to test them. It is important that we make sure all of our students know what goals that they need to work for. We have several goals that the state and the federal government have us work with. Some of them are the federal goals that are listed behind me. Those are students looking for students if they have left public assistance or if they are moving, if you can see, purchasing magazines, working in their community. I have them posted here. It's something that I do when each student is intaked. We talk about them. So our state goals, the students are looking to see if they have retained employment or obtained employment. We're also looking to see if they are continuing to gain citizenship skills and other things. So we have them all posted around so that the students can see them at all times. I do this on intake as well, so they continue to get this constant feedback on it. In this class, I also have implemented an incentive program where students who obtain 60 hours worth of time or they achieve some of these goals and they self-report them, that we have an incentive each marking period or each couple months or so where they can get to receive a different prize. So it helps to keep it in mind that these are important things that we as a program need to continue to update and keep alive in here. I spoke about this when I do these student intakes. This is my student achievement ladder. I like the students to be able to see a general idea of where they are in the program. I explain to them how we have 5 different levels of each of the certificates. I also talk about how it is important to incorporate a career piece, a writing piece, and that there's a computer literacy component to each of our classes. So as you see, the students are going to have to work on the computer skills. We do our writing portfolios and the career. We work with the students in looking at jobs and searching for jobs and getting them literate on making resumes and other things. The achievement ladder also depicts where they are in reading, writing, and math and tells them which levels they are. We, in this class, work with the first 3 levels and then move them on to the next class or to move into credit classes in their GED. So this is a visual for the students and also in the classroom so that they have an idea of where they are within the program. Finally, when I do our intakes, I go through our achievement ladder, which is a much more detailed version of the stepping ladder that I showed you a little bit earlier. This one gives them the specific test scores that they need in order to move from one level to the other. So once they have an idea of where they are in the program, this one with all the extra words on it makes it a little bit more tangible of what numbers they need to move from one level to the other. And I often have students going back through their learning plans and pulling out these ladders, because everyone's given one, to look at what their score is and what they need in order to make that next level gain. So, and it also explains all of their writing requirements for each level as well. For the COA classes, we have designed a website for our program. In the background here, you see one of my students has our website up. It is a Weebly site where our students can go. It's a one-stop shopping for them. All of our programs are accessible through this one website, along with all of their COA requirements for their writing and their writing and career piece portfolios. It also gives them all of their tape scores that they would need in order to move from one level to another. So they have all this information at this website and they can move on from there. Another student is actually sitting right here. He's working on one of our other programs, our ITTS WG Contemporary, where he can get access from that program straight through this website. This program, the students work usually with me on certain skills, and then they go to the program to move on to it. We have Reading Horizons, where we have some students that are working with their reading. It's a wonderful reading program that we can use for our lower students that are having difficulty with grasping some of the concepts of reading. And finally, there is a GED Academy, or Christina Pass GED, which we also use to incorporate into our classroom. We have the ability to do a lot of direct instruction, one-on-one instruction in here, along with the computer pieces that we like to incorporate all this technology. I also have the ability to use smart technology here, so when we do our direct instruction, I have that, which is usually more of a collaborative type of instruction as well.
Welcome to COA-B. COA-B is a follow-up of COA-A that you met with Ms. Amanda Magala. And actually what we do here is a little bit higher level learning. We have our students on our computers. They're working on ITTS and GED Academy, where this is a program where they can work individually at their own speed, at their own achievement level. Actually here we also work for job skills at COA-B. We do the Hudson Center, where we help students fill out applications online, and we just kind of move through really well. Follow-up phone calls, making sure our students come. If they're not coming, we find out why, what the problem is, ask them to make sure that they come back, let them know we're interested in their education, we're interested in their growth.
My name is Elena Palladino. I'm teaching a beginning ESL class, and we're covering a lot of different things. Currently we are working on housing, different types of housing and things that you would find in your home. And I have students from many, many different countries here, and from all over. I have students from China and Mexico and everywhere, Egypt, a lot of different places. And it's a wonderful class to teach. They are very enthusiastic, especially at this level when they come in, and they're fantastic to have. I really enjoy what I do here.
Well, good evening. I'm Lisa Plummer, and I'm one of the night school teachers here at Groves. And I am really enjoying using the STAR B training program for my students. Reading is comprised of 4 components, and sometimes when students are struggling and they're only able to read in the 4th to 9th grade level, it's kind of hard to understand where the problems are. So the training for this program has been awesome for me, because I'm able to diagnose exactly where the deficits are, because components of reading are fluency and alphabetics and vocabulary and comprehension. So a student might have really strong vocabulary skills but not be good at decoding, or they might not have the vocabulary and it's holding them up from comprehending. So because I've been trained in the STAR B program, I'm able to have individual times of instructing my students, reading out loud with them, having them read out loud with me, diagnose the specific area that I need to target, implement instruction directly into the area of weakness, and then try to bring their levels up, and finding huge gains. And they really like the one-on-one attention that they get when we can sit down and work together privately. And it's not embarrassing. Some people might think it's embarrassing, and they might think training adults in this way, they'd want to shy away from it. But actually, when the students are finding that, you know, they're stronger in some areas than they expected, they're encouraged, and then they want to move forward with the rest of the program. So that's something that I've enjoyed for this year for adult ed, for implementing with my students.